unsung hero for the Bruins. I'll go first on this. James Van Riemsdyk, I think, has been an unsung hero for the Bruins. 1 year, $1 million. We really didn't know what to expect from him going into this year. He's slower. There was, a little dip in production, but there was still, again, you looked at pre-Philadelphia. He's a veteran guy that always finds a way to produce. He's good around the net, front of the power play. All right, that's a good base to have. But just what he's given you in terms of offense, both sustained zone time and off the rush, how consistent he's been for the money that he's making, and just, that veteran presence, I think, has been great. And, I think he fits anywhere, whether that's the top six, whether that's that third line. Like, I just think he works, and especially on that power play around the net. I mean, he really is freaking good. So I would put him as an unsung hero, but this team is not short on unsung heroes.
Yeah, I mean, you can go down the list, whether it's like a guy like, again, JVR for the money he's making, Heinen for the money he's making.
Yep, Heinen's a good one.
Parker, we gave a shout out, I think, on Bruins beat to Parker Weatherspoon. He had a really good game on Monday. He's been good as a seventh D stepping up. I'll go with Trent Frederick, though. Again, this guy that I think has been a difference maker further down the lineup. Like earlier on this year, he was reducing pretty well with Coyle, and we're like, keep those guys together, don't break it up. But he's kind of producing wherever in the lineup right now. And again, you look at the physicality he brings, but just the overall production, the fact that he's on pace for close to 20 goals, 40 points, and how key that is further down the lineup. It's been huge for the Bruins. And same thing with like DeBrusk, of how much it makes this overall team better when you have a guy like that you can rely on for 20 or so goals a year. It's been massive. And I think Ty Anderson tweeted this out, that over the last 4 years, Bruins are 31-2-2 when Frederick scores a goal. But it sums it up.
Not
when
bad.
You have a guy like him contributing usually is a good sign that you got another key part of your lineup kind of rolling, because most of the time you know what you're expecting when you've got a top six with guys like Pasternak and Marchand leading the way. When you have guys down the other area of the lineup that are still landing punches in the offensive zone like that, both figuratively and on the score sheet, I think it's just a complete game changer for this team. So I'll give the stick tap to Frederick for this one.
Frederick deserves it as well as JVR. I think Frederick, just in terms of combining the two things we love about his game, the physicality and the edge, and then also the offensive side. And I think I mentioned this the other day, like, he's played with everybody. It's not like he has like two really good line mates he's been playing with the entire year. It's been, he's shuffled in the middle. He's gone on the left side of different players, and he's produced. So I think, again, what he's brought you and what he's on pace for has been really strong, and he's strengthening his case for a bigger contract in a couple of years. So I'd go with him. Heinen's a great one in terms of the value, in terms of just the stable play he gives you. Like, I love the idea when this team's fully healthy of him potentially on the fourth line, just because it's a stable guy that Montgomery trusts, that you know what you're going to get. So I wouldn't hate that either. Geeky's another one. I know Geeky was hurt for quite a bit of time, but when he's been in the lineup, I think he's produced in the top six, in the bottom six. So Geeky would be another in terms of unsung heroes for the Bruins.
The NFL season is wrapping up, and there's still time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
So now we get to the final question, and it's a big one. I think we avoided this a couple weeks ago. We had a similar conversation, and we avoided this question. So with the way that the Bruins have played, are you changing any of your early season predictions regarding what their performance will be like come the postseason?
I don't think so. You look at it, I believe I had them down for finishing second in the Atlantic. I'm still, I think, holding on to that. I feel like I would not be surprised if Florida passes them, because I think Florida is playing out just a really good game. The team looks like what they were last year in the postseason. Like, that team is scary. Kachuk even wasn't really scoring that much, and now he's starting to heat up, which that team is going to be a pain in the ass. So maybe it's best to avoid them for a round or two if you're the Bruins. But I think when this team is playing to its identity, and like I think you saw like that game on Monday, it's like if they're playing like that, I mean, no shit, they have a shutout win. But when your goaltending's locked in as it is, your defense is playing smart, simplified hockey in their own zone, and you're getting contributions across the lineup. You're getting a power play goal from Pasternak. You're not giving up any chances on the PK. A guy like Frederick scores a goal. Like, if the production you're getting up front is then complemented by your defense supporting your two really strong goalies, you got guys like Frederick or DeBrusque playing at a high level, you're going to be a tough out. Like, are they the favorite? No, but I think when you look at the fact that, one, this, I think, field is wide open this year. There's not like a team like the Avalanche a few years ago or what have you, where it's like they're the top dog in the league. I think if you're a Bruins fan, you'll take maybe being the second in the Atlantic, what have you, and carving your way out to the playoffs and see where kind of the pieces fall there, as opposed to being the unquestioned top contender, and we see how that happens. So I think if you're a Bruins fan, finish second, you'll take it, get a nice matchup with the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round again. It'll be a fun series. So I think I'm sticking with that as how it's been. But even if it's, as we predicted, at least for what I said, I think this whole year has been a very pleasant surprise for a year that I think people were expecting to be a bit of a grind, bit of a bridge year, hopes for maybe more returns down the road. This team's, at the very least, man, it's a team that's fun to watch, and it's been a fun hockey season so far, which if you're a Bruins fan, you should be happy.
I completely agree on that second part. Like, it's been a pleasant surprise. I think you and I we thought they would be good, not this good. And I think there were a lot of people who thought they would suck. And it's like, no, they're not going to suck. I, back in September, said they were going to finish third in the Atlantic and that they'd be out in the first round. They'd have an admirable first round, but they'd be out. I would like to change that. I think the way that they've played, what they've shown, I'd like to change it. So I think I agree with you. I think they're going to... you know what, Connor? I'm going to say they stick in first in the Atlantic. I think they stick. They're playing too well, and they find ways to win in the regular season. I think they stick in first. They do not finish as the President's Trophy winners, which, again, if you're first in your division, you should not be out in the first round. So I'd also like to change that. They will not be out in the first round. I think they win a round, and then after that, I think it's... I don't know. I don't have the highest confidence that they win a second round, but again, like... Let's go through that scenario, right? Like, let's say the Bruins are in first, okay? And they play the wild card team. So whoever that is, whether it's Tampa, Philly, maybe Pittsburgh. Okay, they win that series, right? Tampa's hard. Tampa's going to be a hard series, but let's say they win, though. That has gone by my prediction. And then in the second round, they play either Florida or Toronto, right? Now, if it's Toronto, you're fired up because it's Toronto. And if it's Florida, you want revenge after last season. So maybe you win that series, right? And it's the same in your prediction, right? If they beat Toronto in the first round, won't be an easy matchup because Toronto always has to get past the first round. But they should, and then they face Florida, who they want to get revenge on, right? And then you get to the conference final, and anything can happen. So like This is like the Charlie Kelly with the whiteboard. Of course. But I do think that they're no longer a team that's like, oh, get in the playoffs and get experience for the younger kids. Like, they are getting to that point where it's like, no, at least standings wise, they are a contender to go very deep. And I think we should expect that. So I think they definitely win a round, and they should win another round, but I'll give them a pass, but they should win the first round 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm changing my prediction. They finish first in the Atlantic and they win at least a round. That's what I say. So yeah, there you go. I'm changing.
That's fine.
That's what we're here for, right? Our opinions can change. So mine has shifted.
People can change.
People can change, exactly. Sloppy steaks and slick backed hair. See, the thing is though, like going into the year, and I feel this every year, the last couple at least, you don't want to go in being like, they're gonna finish in first and they're gonna go deep and they're gonna win the Stanley Cup. Like, you don't want to do that every year. And I know, like, I think you and I both had them in the cup last year preseason.
Yes.
So I was like, I don't want to do that again. We can't run that back. Like, especially after losing Bergeron and Krejci, I can't do that. So I'm like, I got to be, third out in the first round, which I genuinely thought they would be. But things have changed. So I'm going to stick with my prediction. Or I'm going to change my prediction to that.
Yeah, that's totally fine.